Fake Christians don't know what Satanism really is. They have this Hollywood, B-movie imagination of what Satanism is as an actual religion. And I'm telling you, their head is up their ass on this one. And there's no telling them. I tell people, look, if you want to know about Islam, you'd probably want to go to an imam at a mosque and ask them about Islam because they're a priest in that religion. If you want to know about Judaism, you'd probably go to a Jewish rabbi in a synagogue and ask them about Judaism because they're a priest in that religion. You want to go and learn about at least exoteric Christianity, you might want to go find, a Catholic or a Protestant priest in a church and ask them about their religion. Well, folks, I was a priest in Satanism. I was a priest in one of the largest bodies of public Satanism that exists on the earth, called the Church of Satan under Anton LaVey, who personally appointed me as a priest in the Church of Satan. So you would think that a former priest, would know a little bit about the tenets and doctrine of the satanic religion, would you not? Yet, I'll have Christians tell me, so-called Christians tell me, no, what you're saying isn't Satanism. Satanism is the worship of this being that is this devil depicted, and it's Lucifer, and it's the arch enemy of God, etc. And I'm trying to explain to them, you don't understand. This is a worldly, it's an ideology, a way of living in the world. It has tenets and things that you actually do, and ways that you actually behave, and ways that you actually think. This isn't just about going out into the woods and lighting bonfires and sacrificing animals or dressing in black robes. This is not what Satanism is. It's part of fake Christian belief that they know what Satanism is and other people don't. I've been trying to expose real Satanism for the last 15 years of my life. I'm telling you, people still don't get it. They won't take it from somebody who is an actual priest in the religion. It's like having the playbook of the other football team and taking it across, to the other coach and saying, listen, here's all the plays they're going to run. And they're like, get out of here! I don't want to hear that. We'll do this our way. Can't even give them the playbook. That's how dumb they are. The dark occult controllers of our world manipulate the masses of people by giving them their mindset and their religion. This is the best way to have them continue fighting and weaken each other so that they are easier to control and rule. They give people little watered-down variants of their own religion and their own mindset. They're still the big chiefs and the big priests of this religion, and they still have the big satanic mindset. They give people the smaller one because the bigger can control the smaller. I call it mini-me Satanism, is my little coined term for it. They're Dr. Evil, and they give the public the mini-me version. This is the best, so an understanding of true Christianity. In an understanding of true Christianity, you must understand what its polar... I'm sorry, mistake in the slide again, I apologize. To understand true Christianity, you must understand what its polar opposite, Satanism, really is. Fake Christians refuse to understand genuine Satanism, but an authentic Christian has knowledge of the occult and can discern between light occultism and dark occultism based on how that knowledge is being used. Satanism is an ancient occult religion comprised of diverse, interconnected networks of worldwide adherents. At its ideological core, here's what Satanism really is. This religion postulates that knowledge of the human psyche and knowledge of the laws of the universe should be occulted or hidden and held only by a few human beings. It is much more accurate to perceive Satanists and dark occultists in general as ancient psychologists, as I've said many times, who hold and wield hidden information in ways which exploit those who remain ignorant of that information. The belief in Satan as an anthropomorphic deity instead of a set of ego-driven values and a way of being in the world is a misconception which leads people to a lack of understanding of real Satanism's agenda and their control and manipulation of our world. And it leads them to an inability to identify the true enemy. This is how I described the network of Satanism and dark occultism in my presentation called Demystifying the Occult, Part 2, Satanism and the Dark Occult. You have the general public that they want to exploit and use to do their bidding and to do their dark, evil work. And so they take them into the lower ranks. They filtrate. They have a vetting and filtration system of publicly known dark occult organizations. These are very low-level organizations as such that I was involved in. I'm not telling you I was up there with the absolute elite of the world, because I was not. I was at this level above the general public, at the bottom of that pyramid. Church of Satan, Temple of Set, Order of the Evil Eye, etc., so forth. You're talking about vetting and filtration systems where they're trying to identify what skills do you have, how can you help us? How can you do our great work of evil? Then you get up to higher level and you get the financial, political, and religious and media organizations that are controlled by these occultists at the highest level. Governments of the world, banking institutions of the world, media institutions, exoteric religious institutions. You go to a higher level above that in this pyramid of control, and you get to the higher level dark occult orders and think tank organizations. Now you're into Council on Foreign Relations. You're into the Royal Institute for International Affairs, the Club of Rome, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberg Group, the Tavistock Institute of Human Relations. But even above them, there's a higher level of the dark occult, and this is the ancient ruling class bloodlines. This is the sector that you do not join, and there is no initiation into. You are born into it through blood, the end. That's it. And that's who's ultimately this priest class at the top is. They're the black Venetian nobility. That's right. And people better get that through their heads. They need to understand that. You're not born into the quote-unquote, you're not accepted into the ranks of the so-called dark Illuminati. You're born into it. That's it. And you don't leave it either when you're up at that level. At my level, you say, I'm done with this and I want to get out. And they're like, get the fuck out of here, boy. We don't need you. We were using you. That's it. I was being used like a pawn in a game I had no knowledge of and didn't understand at all. You know, when the pawn says, I don't want to be involved anymore, they're like, well, get off the board. Don't bother us, though. You know, I don't know where the bodies are buried, so to speak. I never got into that level. My conscience never let me get into that level. But you get into that level and you do know where the bodies are buried, you're not walking away easily. You know, they laughed at me walking away, saying, go pound your head against a brick wall, concrete wall for the rest of your life. You ain't going to make an impact on this world. It's untrue. I have. However, in a way, they're correct. It's like I do feel like I'm banging my head against that wall because people in the aggregate sense still are not really listening at all. That's why I need more help. And people who are doing this kind of work need a lot more help. We need help from you. You gotta be the next one up here. I don't want to do this forever. I don't want to do this myself. You know, forget about sitting in the audience. Get your stuff together, get your grammar together, and get up on the stage. That's what I want to say. The symbolism and trappings of the Christian devil or Satan are used in modern Satanism for two reasons. The first is to try to make outsiders see Satanism as, quote, just another quaint religious belief that is based upon traditional Christian belief systems. The second is to associate itself with the adversarial dynamic in nature referred to as involution in the occult world, the force which opposes true evolution in consciousness by making us divided and contradictory in our own thoughts, emotions, and actions. The word Satan is derived from the Hebrew word shaitan, meaning adversary. That's shin tav nun, shaitan. It means adversary or opposer. Satanism is ultimately about being opposed to the true order of natural law. That's the adversarial force. Satanism works against the ordering force of natural law to bring in chaos, to usher in chaos and suffering.